Go ahead.
Hey you guys, thanks for coming out again tonight to hear my speech, and it's basically on stress and ways of coping with stress. Are you stressed? I am. Are there things in your life causing you stress? Everyday stress, your work, your job, life? Well, that's how it was for me. And after taking a psychology class last semester, as well as other avenues, I've learned to get a control on my stress and the stress that I had in my life and things that were causing me stress in my life. Um, and now I'm in a better state of mind for it. And that's what I want to talk about today, stress and what stress can do to you if you don't control it or get rid of it or have some type of control on it. Like I said, today I want to speak on the topic of stress and a little bit of anxiety. Most people today do not know the seriousness involved in stress and what stress can really do to you and your health. Stress is a major cause for control. Having too much of it is what brings the alarm. After taking a psychology class last semester, I've learned how and I have applied some common areas of stress and ways to cope and handle it and deal with stress management. There is no specific cure, but there are ways to eliminate the stress in your life. And in order to learn ways or in order to learn how to control stress, we first have to identify some areas of stress or areas that can cause stress in our lives. Are you familiar with any of these areas, or are any of these areas causing stress in your life? Work, your job. Do you like your job, or is your job stressful? Well, how can stress play a factor at work? Well, one reason is because who do you work for? Do you work for an anal type of supervisor? What type of coworkers do you have? What type of coworkers do you have? I know I mispronounced that word and I just messed that whole word up. But we're just going to bypass that word, and you kind of get the point. I'm a little nervous, so we're just going to keep moving with the flow. But anyway, your job. Do you have a stressful job? I do. My job can be very stressful, not because of what I do, but who I work with and the supervisor that I have. So, are you in that situation? That can cause stress. Another aspect can be your personal life. What about your personal life? That's a major common area for stress. Family life, marriage, being single. That can all be really stressful. And it can cause you to struggle financially if you're a single parent. Being a single parent can cause you to have to work long extra hours at work. And you know what? That can be double trouble because you might have to work those long extra hours at that job or with those people or in that area that you're already having stress with, that boss or those coworkers. So that's another area of stress. Working long extra hours or being a single parent can also cause you to have lack of sleep and not spend time with your children, not have time to recreate. Another area, or the third area that can be prone to stress is life. Life is full of unexpected changes, unexpected and unwanted changes. Everything in your life can be going one way and then it could be drastically changed overnight by divorce, by death, or by a unwanted or unexpected pregnancy. And that can be another area that can just cause you to be stressed out. Now that we have identified ways or areas of stress, let's discuss what we can do to control them and what not controlling them can do or mean for us, or the harm that it can pose to you and I. First, it can cause severe and major health problems. Depression can be a result of emotional stress. Anxiety can cause or bring about mental issues and problems such as a chemical imbalance, causing the need for medication therapy and other resources. Stress can also have its effect on our physical elements, We can have back pain, health problems, ulcers, hair loss, weight gain, and weight loss. And the last three, I can attest to that, the hair loss, the weight gain, and the weight loss if you don't get a control on it. Ways in coping with stress. There are ways to cope with stress because all stress isn't bad. It's just when you let it get out of control. So the key is to try to prevent it ahead of time. One way is to learn stress management. We might have to confront the stress problems or the areas in our life ahead of time or as it's happening and get a hold on it right away. When stress becomes out of control and severe, we might need to talk to someone, go to therapy, or even reach a compromising situation with the problems or the issues that we're having. Another way I found helpful was having a support system. And that can be really encouraging and really needed if the stress is coming from a severe, unexpected change in our lives. As I mentioned earlier, the death or divorce, that can take its toll on us mentally, emotionally, and physically. And another final key factor in helping to cope or rid stress, you may have to just withdraw from that situation altogether or entirely. It may involve leaving the situation, leaving the job, or even casting a certain person or group or whatever out of your life until you get yourself back on your toes where you may have to regroup. So those are just some areas or some ways that I found stress to be helpful, and some areas that may need to be addressed in your life or in my life again. And I hope you found the information very useful because I did too. I got my information from Wade and Tarvis. It's a psychology book that I have. I also had another psychology book on ways to deal with stress, and I also pulled a few articles on stress. So I had about 4 or 5 different sources that I use to get my information. So thanks again, and my name is Shanika.